Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Real Me podcast. I'm coming on this podcast. Just to let you know, there will be no podcast episode today. Um, and really, I'm just gonna say it. All day. This includes the afternoon and the evening. Now, what I do on my podcast is I used to do it weekly for a time, for a couple months. I used to do it on a weekly basis, where I did a transit for the week and then a general video for the week. And then I decided, oh, I love doing it so much, so I do it every day. And then, I sort of, what I did was I had this inspiration to want to do it so much, want to do episodes so much. Um, I planned upon doing it once a day, but then eventually I felt the inspiration to do it more than once a day. Um, more than uh, more times a day if I felt like it. Um, but now that's not working out for me. So this is just a short video, just kind of explaining this of what going to be coming to the channel. Um, As you can tell from the title of this video, I'm going to be doing something really, really deeply loving to myself, and that is to fill up my own cup and make sure that my cup is filled up before doing an episode. Because I talk about authenticity, I talk about operating from a full cup, and you cannot pour from an empty cup. I just feel so depleted this morning, so low energy. I just cannot do an episode because my cup isn't filled up. My energy isn't restored. Um, I just feel really drained this morning. I just was wondering, like, okay, if I felt energetic enough, I'll do it. But I'm just kind of getting tired of doing so many videos. I'm just kind of getting tired of it. I'm getting tired of constantly doing it, constantly feeling like doing it, constantly producing and producing and producing and not just being, not just receiving. I'm sitting right next to these books on my bookshelf that I barely have dug into most of them. And I'm like, oh, I just want to get to these books so badly. I want to get to my cooking show so badly. I want to get to my maybe what I'll do is I'll watch some movies. I'll start watching a history documentary about England, um, about the uh, uh, history of uh, England, of which I will, whenever I start something, I will try to finish it if I can. I'll do that. Always try to finish it, unless it just feels like a total waste of my time and energy. And so then that would be making me feel guilty then because I'm not actually enjoying what I'm watching. I just wasted my time doing that instead of watching it for the purpose of enjoyment. I just watched to get it done, just for the sake of getting it done. It's not worth it to me anymore. I'd rather stop and be authentic to myself and not finish it versus feel guilty about sacrificing myself and watching something that I didn't want to watch. So I will be bearing that in mind. But um This is a Real Me Podcast episode. This is the Real Me Podcast. I disclosed my real self to you on this podcast, so I thought, why not just film an episode of this podcast? I no longer just do Zoom recordings where I show my face anymore. I no longer do those videos. Um, if I settle this on a podcast episode today, then it would be just the most ironic thing, and I just am like, oh my goodness. I would just, it would be so uncomfortable to do an episode today. I mean, it really would. And I mean, eventually, I will probably want to reduce it down to 3 videos a week. The transit, the 12th sign, and the general video. I'll probably want to do that at some point. Um, and I've been thinking, like, wouldn't it be nice to just wake up in the morning without having to record an episode? Wouldn't it be nice to just wake up in the morning and just sit, talk to my parents, go in the living room, watch an episode of a cooking show, or listen to something, listen to music, read my book, or prepare a recipe, or pull my oracle cards, or whatever, and not have to do an episode. I mean, would it be nice if, and I'll probably want to do an episode on the daily basis. I'll probably stick to that because I want to do it. And I typically do them, or I try to do the wake up early in the morning so I can get them done and then have the rest of the day to myself to do other things, to just rest. But it would be nice, and I'm kind of starting to fantasize that idea. Like I'm really fantasizing going back to how it was January of 2026, and I was listening to myself on stories the other day, and I was like, I was talking so slitheringly slowly, I can't even believe it. But I was feeling such an, like, it didn't sound like my mental state was that good, but I was feeling so revitalized, even though my speech was just so incredibly slow. You can go on Instagram and listen to how I was on stories and even listen to one of my videos that I filmed in January of 2026 and hear how my speech was slower and more drawn out. And now I'm just feeling more energetic than ever. My appetite is just enormously carne. Ever since I've been in the hospital, uh, I've been depleted in terms of, I've been deprived of food because I've been off it so long. I've been on the TPN in the hospital. I was on a clear liquid diet, a full liquid diet, then solids again. I ate, my appetite was very, very minimal, and I just wanted food so bad. So ever since I got out of the hospital, I just was eating so much. I ate so fast, and I can eat a lot. My portion sizes at dinner are incredibly big, bigger than they've ever been in my whole entire life. I think my little son would be like, wow, you can eat all that, really? Anyway, I'm going off on a rant here. Um, but I think I just, last night when I did the episode on the solar eclipse and Leo, it was just so late at night. It was like 8:30 something when I stopped. Like I checked the time when I was just about done. It was like 8:18 p.m. And I was like, oh my goodness, I just wasted the whole evening doing this. I just wasted the whole evening doing this episode, and I thought that I could get it done quickly. I could get it done like in an hour and a half. I could record the episode. It could be like 45, 50 minutes. Put it through the editor, do all that, done, done, done. Put it aside, do all the thing. No, it took all evening. I had a lot to say in that episode. You can go check it out. Part two is coming, but not today. Um, And I just felt like, oh man, I need to take a break. And then before I knew it, it was almost time to go to bed, and I just laid in bed, just laid on my bed, shut my eyes, detached. Then I had to get ready for bed, and then so it was about time to go to bed, and I just felt so depleted. Um, and like, oh my goodness, I've been updating social media so much. I've been on social media too much, and I thought of the people that I follow, and I just thought of, one of them telling me like, oh, you need to take a break, you need to wind down in the evening, you need to get off social media, you need to stop posting. And I think I need to allow myself the time in the evenings to wind down, to just relax, to just read my book, watch my movies or shows or whatever. I need to give myself that time for self-care, that time to just relax and just do other things and to just be free and to just not have to put my mental mind and energy and effort into recording an episode, even if I want to record an episode. Um, I work in a very, very black and white way, and so that is what works for my brain. And so my rationale for doing episodes more than once a day is feeling the inspiration and can't not do it, feeling really, really restless. But uh, now it just feels like, wow, ideally would like to just wake up in the morning and record an episode, check it off my list of things to do for the day, and don't get me wrong, I really, really enjoy doing these episodes for myself and for you. But doing it, checking it off, and just relaxing the rest of the day, and and I mean, just kind of knowing that predictable pattern and just living, having that predictability, having that routine. Um, and I just like the look of the episodes being more consistent because it makes it look like um the episodes had more effort and time put into them. The episodes are more special and more valuable because I do them, I cut down on doing them. And I know that just cutting down and doing it day by day, just every single day seems like a very, very small thing to do, but it is a step in the right direction for me, I think. Um, I'm looking at all the books on my bookshelf, and I just have gathered so many books, and I just want to sit down and read one of these books. I'm looking at a book on English history that I want to sit down and read, and I have a book on that I'm reading, a novel that I'm reading that I haven't got to in days that I want to get back to. Not been the most consistent with that, so I think I'll get to that today. But there will be no episode all the day. There will be no episode in the evenings. If I get back from a trip, for instance, and and um well, how do I want to do this? Um, you know, I don't want to make it overly complicated for myself. All I'm going to say is without overcomplicating, without promising anything I can't deliver, I will try to give you an episode every single day, as I normally do. But if I'm gone in Iowa City, for instance, because I live in Iowa and I occasionally my mom has an appointment or whatever, and if I go there the whole day, I'm not going to have the energy to want to do it. And if I come back from my grandma's house, then I'm not going to have the energy to do that. If I come from a big back from a big long trip that takes all day, then I'm not going to have the energy to want to do it. It's going to feel like work. It's going to feel like going to school, going to work, and you don't want to go to work. I don't want to feel like work that I have to do that I don't want to do. I want to feel like my pride and my joy and my creative self-expression in the thing that I look forward to do every single day. And I wish that I was one of those people that felt the inspiration to only do it once a day and could easily have that predictable routine and then feeling like, okay, it's like I want to do it, but then there's other things that are valuable to me, maybe possibly more valuable to me, and not feeling the inspiration to do it more than once a day and just having, because when I came back to YouTube in January, I wanted to do the videos, but I wanted to have a life outside of it. And so I just really, really admired the place that I was in January. It was a beautiful place. I was really, really living my life in a for a good way. I mean, yes, I was on a low-FODMAP diet. Yes, my portion size did well. Yes, there were some imperfections. Yeah, it wasn't perfect, but I was really content and really peaceful feeling on a soul level with how I felt. And then I just felt myself getting drained and even more drained by what I did in February to myself because then I started with AI, the darn short feature that they have with AI stuff. And I recorded all these videos, and there was a day in February, like February 24th, and I just felt so depleted. It was like, and I was being a slave to my YouTube channel. I was being a slave to my videos, and I wasn't allowing myself the time to just relax and to just rest and to do other things. And I wish I just detached and pulled myself away and got myself into the shows enough to where I could say, like, oh, this is what I genuinely want to do with my time, like in my life authentically. So, if I do an episode in the morning from this point forward, I'm going to stick to that. And if I want to do it in the evening, I'm going to remind myself, okay, I'm going to not have the energy to want to do it the next morning. So I can wait. Like this is like the having the kind of the patience to wait it out until the next morning to record that episode. And I like preparing, I like preparing the episode in the late afternoon, evening, so that I can just have it done ahead of time and then do it the next morning, and then boom, the cycle repeats, so that I don't prepare an episode, do it the evening, and oh, I have to just prepare a whole new episode, and oh, I've done the episode in the evening, and then I have to do it the next morning, and I just feel depleted. It feels like a grind, and then I just don't have the energy to do it, and then it just feels like work, and like oh my gosh, and I'm feeling less energy. Like I'm really, really tapping into my intuition when it comes to really, really feeling into like, okay, I feel depleted. Um, I feel depleted um at this point in time. I don't feel energized, so I'm gonna follow my intuition and not do it. Um, like I found that I just haven't had as much motivation and energy to do videos lately. Couple episodes ago, I did a video on going back to the interests of January, and I think that this routine will really support me in going back to those interests. I just got a cord for my computer that I can hook my computer up to a charger on my bed so that I can sit in my bed. Like I so want to go back to the place that I was in January. I really do. I would give anything to go back to January and February and do all this again with self-awareness, with more self-awareness, with being able to do it in a balanced way. Like that was I just loved the place that I was in January. I was just so content in my life at that time. And it may not have sounded like that on stories and on videos, but psychologically, I was feeling great, wonderful. I wasn't too excited. I wasn't too crazy energetic. I was just calm. I was peaceful. I was just content with my life. Just, interested yet grounded. Like I was feeling grounded. And I, wish I didn't just rip myself away from that state of being. So I want to try to reclaim that. I want to try to do everything I can to set boundaries for myself and not do the episodes more than once a day. So I have to stick to that. I'm looking forward to the next Mars retrograde happening January through April, I think, of 2027, because it's like, this is the time where I can stop pushing so hard because I'm an Aries, and a time where I can stop pushing so hard and stop forcing things into motion and stop working, 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 doing, and I'm probably going to have less energy to do things at that point. And I mean, there's something great that I think about pushing yourself along to do something, and it's like, I really, really like doing it, but really I don't want to do it. But I'm doing it, but I'm doing it just once a day or twice a week or something like that. And I'm having a routine as I do it. And I'm being consistent with it. Like, I don't care if I hate the work that I'm doing on this channel after a time, I will still keep up with it because I believe in constantly updating your channel. I do not believe in ever, ever leaving it stagnant and just abandoning it and leaving it behind. So I'm looking forward to that Mars retrograde because it's like, oh my goodness, now I can just rest and relax and just allow the universe to just do its thing and surrender control of my life and watch cooking shows and do all this stuff and listen to music. And Mars retrograde is not about pushing forward, and it's about we may feel less of the push to want to act. But that's the beautiful thing about Mars retrograde is that it's not a time to that you just want to push forward um and uh make things happen. So I'll probably want to do less videos at that point in time. The winter time will probably be a time when I will be feeling less energetic because of the weather, because it's cold, because of this. And I like that. I like the comfy cozy sitting in your house watching things on your computer, doing videos on a consistent basis, doing it because, oh, I'm keeping up with it. Oh, it's work, but oh, my family is more important to me. Oh, the things I watch, the things I read is more important to me. Like, yeah, I like that feeling. I like that feeling. And I want to enjoy doing these videos. I want it to be what I deeply enjoy. And I want it to be something that I enjoy, but I don't want to have it be something that I'm obsessed doing, that it's like all that I want to do and it's my life, and feeling this constant urge to keep up with it and keep up with it and keep producing and constantly wanting to do it, constantly doing it, like, oh my goodness, it's just like I'm feeling like I'm becoming more self-aware, and I'm self-aware enough to know that that is draining me. And I pulled an oracle card, I did all this, I have to draw some boundaries and just say enough is enough. I have to say once a day, no more. And I want to spend time doing the things that I did in January. I want to spend time doing that. And, I am really, really considering not going to college, attending college this semester. Um, because it just doesn't feel right to do so. I just don't feel like I have the drive to want to do that. I've had help and support with every essay that I've had to write and everything like that. I actually had a dream about these teachers that I barely did anything, and they were mad at me. They wanted me to kick me out of the classroom or whatever. Um, and I actually experienced an eclipse like the visceral frenzy to seeing an eclipse, like the solar eclipse last night. Um, and I had a dream that there was this English teacher that um that was teaching, and she was very similar to my grandma, and an English teacher that I had my first semester of college. But I also don't want to do that because the whole time that I was at DMAC, which is Des Moines Area Community College, because of where I live in Indianola, Iowa. I will disclose my location to you. Um, that whole period, literally, was the time when I was the most depressed, and I was guilty, and I was in my OCD, my anxiety, my regrets. I was really down and out. I was really, feeling that way. And sometime I will want to go back and be dedicated to it. But it's just something else that I want to do. It's something second that I want to do. Like, oh, I'll, I'll, do it or whatever. So, I don't know. I mean, I may not want to do that, and it will be so nice to have the fall off if I don't do that. Um, so think I mostly made my decision with that, but I'm still kind of in indecision about that. But so, yeah, so I'll see. But just know that tomorrow's 12 sign forecast for the solar eclipse will be published to my YouTube channel tomorrow. It is Tuesday, so I get anxious about the state of my channel on Tuesdays. That video on the 12 signs forecast for the solar eclipse, as I said, will be tomorrow morning. I will not be doing it today. Um, yeah. So look forward to that episode tomorrow. I'm going to stop this video. I've been on here long enough explaining my whole rationale to you. I want to get off. I want to, maybe I'll pull out one of my history books this morning and take the time and read it and, do something. Like just have my morning free of recording and producing. I would like that today. And I'm going to give myself something nice and something, you know, give myself a little bit of a break and a reprieve and um, a kind of, I guess, a reward for all that I've done. You know, one of the downsides of, like, do not ever go tell a Jupiter and Virgo person that they are resting on their laurels. Do not tell them that, because in fact, they kind of need to at times, because they want to produce, work, work, work. I need to be efficient. I feel guilty. Like I'm not doing this enough. I should be doing this. I should be doing that. It's like you have to set boundaries with yourself, and you have to relax, or you're not like I'm not going to do an episode if I don't have the energy to want to do an episode. I will be so much more fulfilled to want deliver you an episode tomorrow because my energy will be restored. My energy will be back and up and running, that I will have the energy and I will not, burn out because I filled myself up. And so Virgos, you kind of need to rest, Virgo Jupiter, or anyone with strong Virgo in the chart, like rest on your laurels. I'm giving you full permission to rest on your laurels, if that's even the correct word to use. You know, so this video is kind of a demonstration of the importance of setting boundaries, of having self-awareness, being honest with yourself. So I'm gonna give myself that today. Um, it's taken me long enough to do this video. It's just gonna be totally, if I have to stop this and then do that episode, it's just gonna be, oh my gosh. And the 12 sign thing, that takes a lot of time. Sitting through and prepping it, delivering all of that information for all 12 signs, giving good, meaningful readings, and then having to sit and timestamp it. It's just, it takes a lot out of me. So, no. Um, I think, like I thought like, oh, it's not going to take that long, but it took like hours of time to do it. It takes a long time, prepping it, doing it, which takes a long time, putting it through the editor, waiting for it to become a video, writing the description, publishing it everywhere, writing the Instagram post for it. There's all these steps that go into what I do, and I don't want to constantly be, producing, because that producing drains me. And I don't want to be constantly doing that. So anyway, I've made my piece clear enough. No video today. Look forward to it tomorrow. Um, anyway, I didn't come on here doing a meditation this morning. Um, yeah. So maybe I will do um some Oracle cards this morning. Maybe I'll want to pull out an Oracle deck this morning and use one of my Oracle decks. Maybe I'll do that. Who knows? Maybe I'll give myself an Oracle reading or meditate or do whatever. So I'll see what I can do. I do have work today between 1:30 to 3:30, so I will be going there this afternoon doing that, making my money. I will get paid today, so I'll buy a couple things from Amazon. Um, yeah. So anyway, that's enough disclosure, enough, of the disclaimer on that. Anyway, take good care. Bye for now, everybody.